Well, good morning and welcome to 755 Live, about 5 minutes of what Jesus said. And these soundbite versions of the commands of Jesus can also be found at our weekday Bible plan at bible.today.church. We call it the 260 plan because it's 5 days a week throughout the year. And you can jump in at any time it's just a lot of helpful resources there as we read the Bible together. These 755 Live segments are soundbite versions of the commands of Jesus, and we're live at Ironworks. You may hear some partying going on out there. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Maybe they're just really excited about going the extra mile, which is the Jesus said for today. But if this is meaningful to you, if this time together is helpful in your walk following Jesus, it would really mean a lot to me and would be helpful if you like it, if you share it on social media, if you comment. It just makes a big difference. So today's Jesus said, go the extra mile. This is from Matthew 5:38 through 42, where Jesus said, you have heard the law, and this is the Old Testament law, that says the punishment must match the injury, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say, do not resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, offer the other cheek also. If you are sued in court and your shirt, some translations say tunic, is taken from you, give your coat or your outer garment too. If a soldier demands that you carry his gear for a mile, carry it 2 miles. Give to those who ask, and don't turn away from those who want to borrow. Jesus said, go the extra mile. Now, these things sound pretty extreme, but when you understand the cultural context, they're even more extreme, because these were laws. These were things that society had deemed were okay. In the first century, the Jewish people had been conquered by the Roman Empire, and so they literally were enslaved by the Roman Empire. Now, they had some freedom, but there were a lot of laws that restricted the things that they could do. And Roman soldiers had the law on their side. Now, Jesus mentioned the Old Testament law that was for a judge deciding what punishment should be, which the principle was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, that the punishment should match the injury. But Jesus said there's a different way. And then he used some really extreme cultural examples. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, offer the other cheek also. A Roman soldier, by law, could pretty much strike any Jew without any consequence. But on the right cheek implies a backhanded slap. And Jesus was saying, if they give you a backhanded slap, well, turn the other side to them. It's like, it wasn't just an act of being passive. It was saying, what can you do to me? If a backward slap would be meant to disgrace or to shame someone. And Jesus said, no, turn the other way and say, hey, is that all you've got? The other example, if you are sued in court and your shirt or your tunic is taken from you, give them your coat too. In the courts of law at this time, you could not sue someone and take their outer garment. Now, you could take their inner garment, their tunic, and people only had one set of clothing. In fact, up until the Industrial Revolution, this was standard for most societies, just having one set of clothing. In Jesus' day, you had an inner garment, the tunic, and you had an outer garment, kind of a coat or covering. And Jesus said, if you're sued in court, go the extra mile. Give them your coat too, even though it's not even legal for them to do that. And then if a soldier demands that you carry his gear for a mile, carry it 2 miles. By law, a Roman soldier could force a Jew to carry their gear, which was a heavy backpack of stuff, up to a mile. And Jesus said, go an extra mile. Do even more. It's kind of amazing that in our culture, it's all about standing up for our rights. The government doesn't have the right to tell me to do that. But Jesus said, go the extra mile, because we're part of a higher kingdom with higher laws. And I'm thinking about Simon Peter this morning who was a rebel. He always shot off his mouth. He tried to cut the ear off of a servant the night that Jesus was arrested before he was crucified. He was a rebel. But understanding and obeying the commands of Jesus, we see in Peter's letters that we have in the New Testament, we see a change of heart. 1 Peter 2:13 through 16, this rebel says, "For the Lord's sake, submit to all human authority, whether the king is head of the state or the officials he has appointed. For the king has sent them to punish those who do wrong and to honor those who do right. It is God's will that your honorable lives should silence those ignorant people who make foolish accusations against you. For you are free, yet you are God's slaves. So don't use your freedom as an excuse to do evil." In fact, Jesus said, when someone tries to do evil to you, go the extra mile. We are a part of a different kingdom. It's not about our rights. It's about doing what Jesus said. And he said, when you're asked to do something unreasonable, go the extra mile. That's not something we like to hear today, but that's what Jesus said. Go the extra mile. How can we put that into action today?